This is Lora Kaasch, co-owner of Agent Operations, where we help real estate professionals just like you. We believe that when you focus on your strengths and outsource everything else, there's nothing you can't do. We've got a great show today, so let's get started. Okay, we're going to take a look at your next steps on the worksheet, but first I wanted to show you kind of an illustration on why your headline is so important. So if you search me, I've searched me, here's my profile. So you can see how the first 65 to 70 characters are really what's important, along with your services section. We'll get into that in another video, another part of the video. So if you click here, you want to see what things look like. You can see this is my profile looking at it from an outsider. So you can see all details, but you'll see, okay, here's my business information. We're going to go through all of these, but I just wanted you to kind of see this to hit it home, why this stuff is important. Now, the About section, if you see more, this is the next section we're going to talk about. It's kind of a summary. And so let's pop back over into the worksheet and keep working on this. So we're at number 5 on our worksheet, improve your LinkedIn summary. So this is definitely a position where you will want to have filled out our LinkedIn edits and enhance questionnaire, or at least gone through the questions in that download. Again, that download appears in agentoperations.net/LinkedIn. So let's keep moving forward here. Briefly describe the types of jobs you have had and any major accomplishments. Now think of this as like a trailer for your life, your professional life, or a highlight reel. Some people like to say it that way. Think about those things and the different strengths that those positions brought out of you. What did you learn? Why were you good at those positions? Anything like that will help kind of identify strengths and things that you're good at. Next up, we want to describe your perfect client. Who do you want to attract? Who do you love working with? Do you love working with seniors and helping them downsize? Do you love working with people who love the downtown of your city? What kind of client do you like to work with? And we've talked through some of this on some of our other videos and resources of how you can get down to or distill everything down to your perfect client or audience. So you want to think about that again. And if you haven't seen those videos, make sure to check them out because they're pretty cool. You can find one of them in our mini marketing plan series. Next, include a direct quote from an impressive client testimonial. This is your social proof, people. It's really important. It tells people so much about you without you having to say a word. So then direct the reader to the complete document in the add media section below your summary. So what does that mean? Direct the reader to the complete document in the add media section below your summary. Now, this means that you have in your summary maybe something about a testimonial. One of these maybe is a testimonial, but then you want to inspire them to scroll down to your recommendations down here. So here are some of mine: real estate, sellers, sales, skills, and endorsements. This is where you want to direct people down to. So you can see all of the different keywords and strengths that people have identified so graciously for me. So you want to get people to scroll down. That was one of the big ones in one of our other parts of the class, is to scroll down. Next, think about or describe what makes you and your company unique. Why are you different from the rest of the crowd? Fleshing out those answers are really important. Now let's describe how you help people accomplish their goals. What does it feel like when you are taking them from zero to hero, or from a challenge to the hero of their own story? Next, Briefly describe any business experience that resulted in a superior outcome or outcomes. And this might sound like it's a job interview, and in some respects it could be, right? I mean, if you have people on LinkedIn who are evaluating if they want to contact you to sell their piece of property, you want to have all of this stuff looking good, because there are so many ways to generate real estate business on LinkedIn. It's not even funny. So this is important. Kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Yeah, it kind of is a job interview. All right, next. This is one of my favorites as a marketer. Include a specific call to, what do you think it is? What's the last word? Call to action. Big. One of the biggest things that's missing in marketing today are calls to action. So you want a call to action so the reader or whoever's engaging with you will know what you want them to do next. So let's take in case in point in my profile. Yes, I'm not selling real estate, so my profile is a little bit different, but you know, what you want them to do is figure out, all right, how do I learn more about them? So I've got two things on mine. And so when you add these links, because that's what you want them to go to, we'll get, this is probably a little, I'm moving ahead too fast, but you can see my calls to action. Get started today. This is how somebody can come and do business with us. This is our catalog. If somebody's curious about what we offer, I could also put our online portfolio as a link. Look, browse our online portfolio so they can see the quality that my team does, quality of work. So those are all calls to action. In your case, it could be a pre-listing package or a relocation package or a buyer package. Go to your website, book an appointment, pick up the phone. So those are all examples of calls to action. Next, I love this tip. Consider adding a specialties subsection at the bottom of your summary. And what that would look like here is if, say I love working with, we'll say, for example, top producers or people who are producing between $9 and $12 million in real estate volume a year, I could say or offer something that's specifically valuable to them. And it might be, maybe it's our agent operations assistant department that we are kind of putting together and rolling out soon. Maybe that type of client, the $9 to $12 million volume, that an assistant probably sounds pretty darn attractive to them because they're getting at the point where it's starting to feel overwhelming. So that could be a specific target to a niche part of my audience or specialty that we offer at Agent Operations. And it's the same thing that can be done with you and your clients and prospects and potential clients. Now, I jumped ahead just a minute ago on the two most compelling links. This is what I was talking about. So these are two links. You have the ability, I believe, to do 5, but if I remember correctly, how it formats with 5, it hides actually a couple of them. So what I recommend to clients is that you do two links, pick your 2 best. And so these are those links that we're talking about. So I jumped ahead, but this is kind of a call to action and a link to get the person to act. And then here is add your 2 most compelling links, media items, or items of value is what this is. Items of value in the media section. So that is the media section that we just saw. So again, that is these right here. So they're links. You can see how they're linked. You would actually just go copy paste the link. Maybe one is to your website, maybe one is to the appointment scheduler on your website, your calendar scheduler. And yes, you should have one of those on your website. We'll talk through that on another class. That's a whole different discussion, but okay, oh, here it is. You can link up to 14, but putting just 2 optimizes the available space, and you can see that here. All right, we are to spot check your LinkedIn profile for these items in our worksheet. So what you want to do is, first off, you want to scroll down and just do some spot checking. So we've got this summary created here. And this is something that I actually probably should have designated a full section to doing. So I'm going to, while I'm thinking about this, I'm going to go ahead and pause and kind of discuss this. I know it takes a little bit off the worksheet because there's not a section on the worksheet for this, but I do think that it's really important. Here are my recommendations. First, you're going to want to do our questionnaire, our little download questionnaire. That is important because it will really kind of flesh out the things that are going to be important to talk about in your summary section. So the about section, that's just your summary section. It's really kind of towards the top of your profile, as you can tell. Couple of words of wisdom about this. If you are not a good writer, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. But what I would encourage you to do is find a service. Shameless plug for agent operations. We do this all day long. But outsource the bio creation to somebody else. If you're not a strong writer, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but just make sure that your bio is done right. And there's a couple of recommendations even in style. You're going to want to really try to, if you're doing it yourself, if you're writing it yourself, there's a couple of things that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to really show people rather than just telling them kind of things. You want to demonstrate through words. You want to paint a picture with words about why you are different. I think that is, if I could give you one nugget of advice, is really spell out in your bio or your LinkedIn summary section why you are different. So here is kind of an analogy to that. Even though I haven't sold real estate in several years, this is still going to apply and translate to yours. Focus on your strengths, outsource everything else. That's basically our tagline here at Agent Operations. And it really summarizes our philosophy and how we work with our clients and the services that we provide. Here is kind of what I would call a little bulleted section that has our main services that we offer to our clients. And then in this, you can see that we are empathizing with our audience. We know what it's like. We know what you're going through. And here is how we offer a solution to the problem. We help you market yourself successfully and strategically. It shows the part of if you don't do this or if you don't focus on marketing, you could lose sales to competitors, right? So you have to paint that picture of the problems that your audience is facing. And in the case of a real estate professional, that is going to be really, you're going to be showing your prospective clients and customers, if you don't buy a house with me, you're not able to take advantage of my full expertise of the local Austin real estate market, right? So that would be an example of fleshing out a challenge that your customers are facing. And then you want to, on the other side of it, what will it look like when your client is successful? They will be closing on the home of their dreams or finding that next perfect space and beginning to make family memories or memories with your loved ones in that new space. So that's an example of you painting the picture of what it looks like when they are the hero and you are their guide. So that's kind of a basic, kind of loose foundational structure, I guess, on how you're going to want to kind of start off. Now, as you get into more of like your past the intro paragraph, but more into about you, be sure to weave in how your past experience, and this is especially true if you're a new agent, how your past experience is relevant to what you do today and how you help people today and what that means for them and their story today. So you're also going to want to show different facets of your personality and different facets of your life so that your readers and your customers have this picture of you as this full, complete, authentic person from a holistic view. You're not just a real estate professional who just turns deals all day long, and maybe you are, but that's not all you are, right? That is not everything. So you're going to want to demonstrate if you have other passions or interests or nonprofits that you really love working with. I have a niche family. I went to the University of Alabama, and for part of my college career, and so I really love that kind of niche audience. Those other Roll Tide people that are out there, those are my people, right? So I point out subtly, or not so subtly, that this is maybe a niche audience helping people who are also Alabama alum. And the same thing for you in our University of Nevada, Reno. So you can even flesh out your niche audiences or other audiences that might be attracted to. Now, then you do want to talk about community involvement. You really do, because experience on boards, serving on boards, or experience volunteering and what those causes are really speak to some of the strengths that you have. If you've been on a nonprofit board, chances are you have great experience with how a nonprofit runs or how to support nonprofits. So it gives you a really kind of good overview of everything. And then you want to talk about, what do you like to do for fun? You know, who's your family at home, or who do you love being around, or what do you love doing? Because you are a whole person, and that is what people are looking for. So I know we squirreled a little bit in this section from our worksheet here, but I really felt like it was important to kind of walk through your summary section and show you what that might look like and kind of how to improve and perfect that. Thanks for listening. Hey, we love your comments too. If we've helped you, be sure to screenshot and tag us on social media at Agent Operations. You can also join our community by subscribing to updates at agentoperations.net/subscribe, or just click that little red subscribe button on YouTube. This is Lora Tucker Kaasch, co-owner of Agent Operations, where we help real estate professionals just like you focus on your strengths and outsource everything else. Faith, passion, purpose. Until next time, friends.